The process of self-discovery has now been technologically outsourced. Self-discovery requires one to explore one's ideas, thoughts, values, preferences, opinions with regard to life, world, and society. This self-discovery requires deep contemplation, analysis, and open-mindedness to accept oneself just as it is. But in this present century, the act of self-discovery has been outsourced to technology. Let's explore how our human psyche has evolved in this technical world, how technological outsourcing of self-discovery has become a trend, and how technology will continue to guide the same for coming generation. It's not that we use technology, but we are living technology. We live in technology. Now this word outsourcing. This word outsourcing has become a buzzword. From programming to grocery, from delivery to education, we outsource almost anything. We humans outsource lot. We once had to hunt and grow our own food. Now we outsource to stores and agribusiness. Most of us have lost the ability to hunt and grow our own. The whole network we call society is a web of mutual outsourcings. We may feel more independent than ever, though not, because we are. We are just addicted to reliable outsourcing. That's what economists are all about. The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, outsourcing labor to each other. Technology thus has structured these outsourcing in a manner that is organized and integrated, making it more accessible to each individual. Now, self-discovery is a process that involves discovering yourself by looking at what you like and dislike about yourself, your life, past experiences, and the world around you. It is not just an individualistic process, but also includes your family, friends, society, and even things beyond your control. The process of self-discovery is when you decide what kind of person you want to be and how you want to lead your life. You must focus on your strengths and work on developing them into a strength so that they can become your competitive advantage in this world. As a society, we have turned our back on the idea of self-discovery in favor of using technology as a crutch to find out who we should be. The world we live in today is much different than the world people lived a century ago. We have more knowledge at our fingertips than ever before, but it can be hard to make sense of all of it. How do we begin to learn how to be ourselves when we no longer go through life without outside influence? For example, introspection used to be one of the most fundamental part of self-discovery. People would spend hours alone in nature, isolated from other people, and they would contemplate their lives and their purpose while they were there. Today, we have replaced this with social media. We don't need to meditate or think deeply about who we are anymore because Facebook and Instagram will do it for us. Numerous technological innovations are also making it easier for people to discover themselves as well. One such technology is virtual reality, which is able to provide an immersive experience that many views as being superior to real life. Virtual reality allows users to do things like create a personalized avatar that represents their ideal selves. They can use their avatar in a virtual setting and interact with other avatars that represents their ideal selves as well. These types of interactions allow people to see themselves from outside perspective and gain valuable insight about who they are. One could even say that this is a technologically driven process of self-discovery. The family was once by far the most important environment for shaping attitude and beliefs. Today, young children are exposed via TV and the internet to many more role models, values, ways of thinking, and choices than ever before. Video games allow people to construct and experience virtual realities unconstrained by the norms and values of general society. Beyond fantasy, information and communication technology have changed the nature of peer groups. Through technology, people can create new reference groups with idiosyncratic norms rather than being socialized primarily through more conventional means. The internet supports the forming of alternative communities, sometimes giving rise to cults. With the advent of internet, we can now curate our photographs and present ourselves in a way that is most likely to attract a potential mate. Social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram allow us to showcase our best selves and create an identity through content we consume and share. The ability to edit our lives on social media, we are literally editing our lives on social media, has created a new form of self-expression, but it also left us with a sense of emptiness. The more curated our online identities become, the less we are able to be vulnerable when meeting someone face to face. With the rise of dating apps, we can now choose who we want to talk to based on their appearance, which is why it is unsurprising that many people use them as ego boosters rather than genuine tools for connection. This leads us to wonder whether online romance is real love. Social media has changed how we communicate and how we know ourselves. We can now present ourselves in any way imaginable, but this can sometimes leave us feeling isolated and unaware how others perceive us. The human brain is wired to seek approval from others in order to feel secure. But social media has created a strange paradox where we have access to thousands of people yet feel disconnected from all of them at the same time. Your mobile phone knows more about you than your closest friends. In fact, you are reading anything online means you probably willing to be tracked by Google. You have decided to share your location. You post photos on Instagram and Facebook. You often check in somewhere. For better or for worse, we are giving up our privacy to companies. Even if we don't think about it consciously, there is a good chance that technology has already revealed things about yourself that you didn't know before. With enough data, patterns emerge, and the process of self-discovery has now been technologically outsourced. You don't need to go to a psychologist because algorithms can now spit out a prescription for us. In the future, the process of self-discovery will be a simple matter of downloading an app, plugging in your choices, and letting the device tell you who you are. We will create our own individualized version of reality by selecting our news feeds, web searches, social media content. Each of us will have his or her unique experience and perspective on what is happening in the world. That's how we all see ourselves as unique individual. The idea that personality tests are just for fun has been debunked by science. A recent study has found that people who took a personality test often overestimate their scores at first, but eventually come to see themselves accurately in relation to their peers. The researchers said that one reason for this is desire for consistency between attitudes and behaviors. Our personalities are not static. So this study suggests that we can change how we see ourselves by making changes in our behavior. Like when someone starts working out more and they suddenly feel more confident and outgoing. The future of self-discovery is already here in the form of AI, that is artificial intelligence personal assistants. As our relationship with technology continue to evolve and artificial intelligence becomes more ubiquitous, we will continue to find ourselves interacting with software in a ways that previous generation could never have imagined. And as these interactions become increasingly natural, we might even find an increasingly surer sense of self. Should It is hard to say for certain. On one hand, self-discovery is a critical aspect of human growth and happiness, and if it can be technologically enhanced, it could potentially help people live fuller, happier lives. On the other hand, technology's ability to understand and process human emotions is still very primitive. So the risk involved in removing that aspect of self-discovery from equation are considerable. If nothing else, though, people should at least consider the possibility that they could benefit from some sort of technological assistance at this crucial life pursuit.